All right, back to football. As we know, Tom Brady has retired. We just talked about it a few moments ago. He is done. At least he says he's done. This time, I do think he is done.
You believe him?
Yeah, I don't think you can come back again. I mean, look, MJ came back like 10 times, so anything is possible. But I don't think he's going to come back because it would make him look even worse than he did last year to some people. I think he's made up his mind.
I don't think I'll totally believe. I lean that way. I don't think I'll totally believe it till camps kick off and Tom Brady isn't in one of them.
Well, we'll say. We'll see how it all goes. My gut is that he's completely done.
Mm-hmm.
But look, if he isn't done and decides to come back, the only place he's likely to come back to is Tampa because the offseason's got to continue without him.
Right.
Teams have to make decisions, Ramie. Yeah. And that's really where we're at now because we'll talk about the Niners later. But really, the first team I thought of when Brady announced this today was the Raiders because we've talked a lot about the Raiders being the fit for Brady and Brady going to play for Josh McDaniels. And years ago when Brady was a free agent, he spoke with Mark Davis at the UFC pay-per-view. All of these things. People thought Brady was headed to Vegas. Even Jeff Howe, our NFL insider with The Athletic yesterday, we asked him if Brady came back, where would Brady land? Here's what Howe said.
I'm still not backing off the Raiders. I think that it's made way too much sense for too long. And so for Brady, I mean, I don't see him going back to Tampa. I think there's been too many changes there. The Raiders just make all the sense in the world. Familiarity with the system, with the people in place. That's just, he can expand his brand. I think there's already been interest in expanding his brand in Vegas. So there's just a lot of factors that come together that make it look like the Raiders are the most likely scenario.
Callows and Ramie, Sactown Sports. Yes, it did make total sense for the Raiders. It made complete sense. Everything that Jeff Howe just said. But Brady is not coming back. Brady has decided to retire. If you're the Raiders, Ramie, what now?
We heard the Jimmy Garoppolo rumblings. There's always that. And they're going to be a lot of quarterbacks on the move this year. We know that the Pack, well, we don't know this for fact, but Adam Schefter reported that the Packers only want to trade Aaron Rodgers in the AFC. So, I almost said Oakland. Las Vegas would be in play for the Packers if Aaron Rodgers was interested in making the move out there. I think those are the first two places that you look. You make a call on Aaron Rodgers, see what his availability is, what the price might be. And after that, I think you look at Jimmy Garoppolo because you put too many eggs in the basket of win now. Oh, just in the signing of Devontae Adams, not to mention some of the other things that they did, but just in the signing of Devontae Adams, you put too many eggs in the win now basket for me to go with a project or a rookie at the quarterback position. I think you got to check on those two guys first.
Financially, they could make the Rodgers deal work. Vincent Bonsignor tweeted about that today. If the Raiders traded for Rodgers, he'd represent about $15.8 million as a cap hit. From a cash perspective, his salary would be just over $1 million on the base, and he'd have a $58.3 million option bonus. But the Raiders would have to be approximately $60 million under the cap at the time of the trade. If they got rid of Derek Carr's contract, it gets them in that ballpark. So financially, they could do it as long as they got rid of Derek Carr. If I'm the Raiders, I'm going to draft a quarterback. They got the 7th pick overall in the draft. I think you've got enough ammo with that 7th pick and trading Derek Carr and getting more picks
to get like one of the top 2 quarterbacks.
Again,
they won't be there at 7.
If I have the ammo from the Derek Carr trade, which I think, that's what I would be looking at doing. I'd be looking at trading Carr, getting some more ammo with that 7th pick plus what I get for Carr. Yeah, I would first try to move up for sure. But I do think there's 3 or 4 quarterbacks there that could be franchise guys, and not everybody needs a quarterback in the top 5 or 6. So if I could find that guy, if I could find that franchise QB1 in the draft, that's what I would do. I would take the $60 million in cap space by getting rid of Carr's contract. I would devote that to the offensive line, and I would devote that to the defense. So I would have a remade defense with more talent other than Max Crosby and Nate Hobbs. And I would add to the O-line, which was, kind of in flux this year for the first 2 months. I would surround my young quarterback with all the talent I could. I'd stay away from the Aaron Rodgers drama that comes with him every single time. And I also look at it big picture, Ramie. If I'm the Raiders, you got to look at the fact that you're in the same division as Patrick Mahomes, and you're in the same division as Justin Herbert. and you're in the same division as Sean Payton now, who might be able to get more out of Russell Wilson. This to me is
these are all good points you're making and things they should have considered last year before they put so much money into winning now.
Yeah, but Adams is going to stay. Adams is going to stay. Chandler Jones was a short-term contract. So that's what I would do. I would grab the young quarterback and I would say this is about 10 to 15 years of contending. This is about the next decade. Because if you're trying to win right now, you could always come out wrong in that battle with Patrick Mahomes on any given year or two. So I would try to build this with a legit young franchise quarterback, use that money from Derek Carr to supplement that young quarterback with all the talent that he possibly could have. That's what I would do. I'm not saying that getting Rodgers is a bad idea. Of course, it's not a bad idea. He could help you win a Super Bowl. But to me, I'm thinking more, what can I do for the next 10 to 15 years to build this right? And I would be looking at one of those young quarterbacks. 916-339-1140.